Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to paint this is Patrick, who spoke to us earlier on. He agreed to be the victim tonight very bravely, and I'm actually going to paint on top of it. It's not the first time I've painted a CEO. I've done a few CEOs in business in my time. Always an interesting exercise. Predominantly men. And the interesting thing when you paint a CEO is nearly always the first pose they'll adopt is this. Because it's really important to look like you've killed people to be successful. This is some paint I mixed up earlier, which is a kind of a flesh tint. And I'm about to turn that into a glaze and just go over some of the black and white areas on here. If you get a chance, come and look at this later, because what you will see on this painting is you will see thin paint, you will see thick paint, you will see textured paint, and you will see lots of, actually, from where you're sitting, it probably looks quite realistic. Actually, if you come up to it, you'll see it's quite painterly. There's lots of movement and marks and stuff all over it. And that's what this paint allows you to do. Whereas what I've found is by using a combination of things from Daler, that I think I've got beyond that 10% to a point where I can see a manageable and marked difference in the drying times. That's the boring bit out of the way. I've just about done all the skin tones. So if you can see that's gone on beautifully, smoothly, it's created flesh. The colours I've used there are based on the flesh tone of Cryla, and I've tinted it a little bit. I've used some of the medium mix to give us that sense of transparency, and having put it on top, we've already started to get a picture that looks like it's got flesh. It was that simple. Let's do some highlights, I think, first, then we'll do the other bits. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some lighter paint, and I'm going to put this on as impasto. In other words, thick paint without any medium in it. And then if I grab some of this, and again, here's another little trick, that by taking the gel, putting the thick paint on and using the gel to soften the edges, you can control so much of what you put on. From a black and white painting to something that looks a little bit more flesh-like and realistic. It's taken, what, 20 minutes, half an hour. Yes, there's technique in there, but what's really important is the flexibility that's in these paints allows me to work thin, transparent, it allows me to work thick, it allows me to work smooth, it allows me to work textured. And because of that, I can take a picture like that, do a few brush strokes, and it will bring it to life. Okay? Thank you.
I just would like to say, in fact, I am not a CEO.
You are a model.
Yes!
You've been promoted.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
download